Hello, my name's Doug Grantham with RE/MAX of Orange Beach. You may have gotten an email, a text, or a phone call from me in the past about your property here in Gulf Shores or Orange Beach. I'm sure you get calls, texts, and emails from a lot of realtors down here, but I want you to be able to put a face with my name. I want to take a few minutes of your time to introduce myself to you and tell you what separates me from other realtors in the area. I've been in the real estate business for a total of 22 years, selling for 19 years full-time. I started when I was 21 years old, working for my dad, who had been in the real estate business in both sales and property management. I'm a true local to Gulf Shores. Being born in Foley and growing up in Gulf Shores, I've seen a lot of changes in the area. Both my parents worked at SeaChase in Orange Beach starting in the mid-'80s and worked as property manager, rental manager, and also sales for nearly 2 decades. I grew up at SeaChase, and when I say I grew up there, I remember the school bus dropping us off, us doing our homework in the conference room until mom and dad got off. I have a lot of memories at SeaChase, including numerous beach and property cleanups after hurricanes, us helping our mom clean condos, my first summer job at 12 years old where I would clean pools, pick up trash in the parking lot, pretty much do all the dirty work for $2 an hour. I remember when the East Tower was being built in 1994, had to do all the construction cleanup at the end of each day. I even worked for a local beach service for a couple summers, setting up the lounge chairs and working out in front of SeaChase all day. To say we have history at SeaChase is an understatement. As I moved into high school, I began working for a local golf course, the Woodlands, which is no longer open, but that's where I learned to play the frustrating game of golf. I worked at Woodlands throughout high school while playing for Foley. I met a lot of great people on the golf course and still like to play to this day when I have free time. Once I graduated in 2000 from Foley High School, I started working for a local custom home builder and found out quickly that hanging off the side of a roof was not my future plans. But I did continue to build my work ethic and knowledge of coastal construction. After a couple of summers of construction, I decided to hang up my belt and started working with my dad, who had a successful real estate team at RE/MAX of Gulf Shores. I started working in the real estate business in June of 2002 as the real estate market started to boom. My dad wouldn't let me get my real estate license right away. He wanted me to learn from the ground up and pay my dues. He would always call me his do boy, so I pretty much had to do whatever he told me. As the months went by, I gradually began to get more and more responsibilities. I ended up handling all of his listings, setting up all of his showings, dropping keys off at real estate offices. This was before we had lock boxes, Century Lock, things like that. Had to ring up about 50 keys I had to keep up with. I remember my dad even making me go ahead of him while he was out showing. I would have to unlock the doors, turn on all the lights, pretty much get the unit ready so when they walked in, the unit wasn't dark and it was ready to be shown. After he was done showing his buyers, I would have to go back to the units, turn off all the lights, and lock it up. To me, it seemed like busy work, but as I got older, I appreciated it because I became familiar with all the complexes and it only strengthened my knowledge of the condos down here. After a couple summers of working with him, I went off to college for a couple years, but I always knew what I wanted to do for a living. I wanted to sell real estate at the beach. They said it would be fun. I moved back to Gulf Shores at the beginning of 2005 and met my now wife, Bambi. During this time, we were right in the middle of the boom market where prices were crazy and all the condo flippers were in full force. I got my real estate license in May of 2005 and started my career with RE/MAX of Orange Beach. I joined my dad's team as a full-time real estate agent working commission-based only. Moving a few years later, into 2009, we left RE/MAX of Orange Beach to open our own real estate company, GMAC Premier Properties, at the wharf. My responsibilities even grew more, as I oversaw about 12 real estate agents while selling myself. During this time, I was also sales director at the wharf. I learned how to manage people, communicate properly, and learn the business inside and out. After only a year or so, in 2010, I decided to leave the company and go back to RE/MAX of Orange Beach. I always knew RE/MAX was the place for me. I felt like the brand I was working for was a very important tool for my business. At RE/MAX, and right in the middle of the recession, I took 5 licensed assistants and started our own team, the Premier Team. 2010 was a big year for us, not only in the real estate business after the oil spill, but also in my personal life. Bambi and I got married in November of 2010 in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. During the recession, it was a tough market. Many times I thought to myself, I might need to go out and get a steady, solid job making a salary. My dad told me to stick with it and really take the time to understand the market as it changed. I really had to look at my business and adjust. So I started focusing on foreclosures, short sales, and BPOs. Broker pricing opinions, which are kind of like appraisals for asset companies and banks. I began listing and selling foreclosures and short sale properties. This was a tough time, like I said, but looking back, it really took my market knowledge to another level and really built my confidence knowing that if I could get through the Great Recession, then I could get through any market. As the market started to improve in 2012, things began to turn around for us. The momentum was on our side, and we began having some of the best months and years we'd ever had. Bambi began working with me and handling all the listings and transactions. Having her helped me focus more on my clients and their needs rather than the details of the transactions, as far as inspections, appraisals, lenders, things like that. In 2015, I continued with RE/MAX of Orange Beach, but we moved our office back to the Wharf and opened up a branch office, and I became the broker for Wharf Rental Management, which is owned by my mom and my sister. We still had our team at RE/MAX, but with only one licensed assistant. As a small team, we could focus 100% on listing and selling while Bambi continued to close the deals. Around this time, Bambi and I became empty nesters. Our daughter had moved out of the house, and it was just us two. We stayed focused on the real estate business, but began to travel much more. We always enjoyed traveling and would always find someplace up north to visit. Since both of us are from Baldwin County, we always wanted to see different places rather than that flat land, the sand, and the Gulf of Mexico. So we decided to travel to places such as Colorado, Lake Tahoe, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal. Pretty much any place where it snowed. We got to see some of the prettiest places in the world. We never minded visiting the snow or the cold, but both of us could never be landlocked. So we decided to change it up a bit and try the Caribbean. Our first trip was to Grand Cayman. It was nice, the people were nice, but too busy for us. Bambi was on her mission to find her Corona Beach. Our friend Chad Harris told us if we wanted to see the prettiest water, we needed to check out the Bahamas. After months of researching the islands, we found a place where you could swim with the pigs, Exuma. We had a teacup potbelly pig at the time, so we had to just see what this was all about. So our first trip to Exuma was in 2017, and we fell in love right away. The people, the culture, the proximity to the States, and of course, the ridiculously crystal clear waters. We began visiting Exuma a couple times a year, getting to know the island and the people. We quickly fit right in. In 2019, we decided to purchase a piece of property, waterfront property, with the dream of owning a house there one day. Well, it didn't take long. As we moved into 2020, we started the process of building, and then suddenly, COVID hits. The entire world shuts down. Everyone was isolated, but that didn't stop us from continuing our dream. We built our house during 2020 and 2021, mostly here from home, with a couple short trips to Exuma as they opened the travel restrictions. During 2020, we also became grandparents to our now grandson, Silas. He's my boy, so I had to throw him in there. So finally, we finished the house in summer of 2021 and began renting it short term. With the hard work and loyalty of our clients, we were able to accomplish a dream of ours that we thought at times would never happen, or thought to ourselves, we had lost our mind. But the dream became a reality. Today, we spend a couple months a year in Exuma, enjoying the weather, enjoying the friends that we've made, and just enjoying life. I hope this wasn't too long, but I really wanted you to get to know me and Bambi and our journey in the real estate business and life. We both have a combined 40 years of experience in the real estate business, all right here in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. We've helped over 1,000 buyers and sellers in our career. And if you don't have a relationship with a real estate agent in the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, or surrounding areas, we'd love the opportunity to be that agent for you. All of my contact information can be found below, and I also have a link below to reviews from just a few people we've helped in the past. I appreciate you watching this, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Hope you have a great day.